All right, everybody, as far as I can tell, we are back up live. I'm going to pretend like we are. Heading to YouTube right now to figure it out. Thank you so much for tuning in. We just had a small power outage here in Lincoln City, Oregon. The weather has been lovely for indoor activities, and it looks like that finally affected some power here. Luckily, we're in a fortress of a casino with great backup power, and we're up and rolling. Update the score. It's 2-0 right now. Yep, Kevin confirming we should be up and rolling. This is John Boldman trying to sneak past that 9 ball. Not quite getting there, but leaving it in a tough spot. Looks like that 9 can go. So yeah, with a wide open shot on the 13, should be able to make this 9. You kind of would like to be on the top side of this 9 ball. It's a little easier to make sure you don't hit the 1. Well, we lost the power and we lost Clay when we did, but we're back at it and streaming here. Like I said, thanks for tuning in, everybody out there. This is Summerfield Abner coming to you with Railbirds TV. And this is Paul Kinney at the table right now, his partner Chris Robbins. Trailing 2-0 right now in this Platinum Scotch Doubles division. Looks like Paul's going to try and bump out a little bit. Just don't want to get too close to that rail. Yeah, that's kind of a finicky little shot from there. I also don't want to get stuck back there behind the 11 shooting the 15. Well, if I'm the opponent, I'm probably calling a ref at this point. But it is going to be pretty evident. Oh, I'm good. Thank you. Looks like playing the bank, playing the two-way. I like that shot a lot, Chris. Cuts off access to the 2 ball. Nothing to do with the 1 except free up the 9. I think that's a really smart shot. Yeah, I think she might need to try and get behind this 1 ball. Kind of soft roll, clip off the top side of the 1. All right, looks like she's trying to play the bank. I don't think she can back cut that ball. Or maybe she's playing the 1 over there. That's an awesome shot. Play this carom. Can't tell if she's going to kick into it. That was a great idea, really creative shot. Unfortunately, cut it a little high. But that puts some pressure back on for sure. Frees up the 1 ball. Still doesn't really have a pocket. It might be able to sneak past that at 11, but it's tight. Paul's in pretty good shape here to just kind of roll his 15, take the 12 next. Nice shot. It's a little steep to hold for the 9 on the side, so I think Chris will probably roll down. It looks like she might be going right at that 2 ball. I want to make sure you get past the 2 ball. Beautiful shot. And this is a little tougher, but he's just got to make sure he gets out in the open. Running around the 1 ball isn't my favorite here because if you clip anything, you're in trouble. Usually I'd like to play this with high inside, but I think he's going to have to draw out of the shot. Taking a look at the 9 ball here still. I understand why. I think that was the natural pattern to play, but from this position, I think you kind of got to draw this ball. And all you really need to do is make sure you get between the 1 and the 2 so that you can play the 9 in the upper left-hand corner pocket as you're seeing it. Got the train going. Team Robbins over there hard at work. Looks like he's going to try and push around. And it was pretty straight, so ends up catching that point. And that's just a killer. And that's going to leave Chris. I'm not even sure if she's got to look at this 9 ball. It does look like she can see part of it, if not all of it. If Chris can see it, I like her to make it. And this really gets down to it, do or die with that 1 ball sitting there now. And that's Chris Robbins here at the table. Her mama Nancy out there, Nancy Nelson, is turning 80 years old on April 5th, and they're tuning in down in Arizona right now. Can't tell if she could see enough of it or couldn't see enough of it, and that's why she overcut. But I almost doubled up these balls. I think she might have. Looks like he's got to play the 2 past the 1. And it's not a huge deal, but that definitely makes the shot more difficult. Yeah, he's just rolling it past there. He's going to leave her really sharp. Oh no, she might have to bank this ball. Looks like the cut's there, but I mean it's a natural stroke if you push through it. And if you do, you're going to have to come right side rail, left side rail, back out to take the 8 in that same pocket. And it looks like that's what she's looking at. Play do or die once again. This has been a good rack. Okay. Kind of typical. Had more room than I thought it was. Not as big of a deal. It fell a little bit short on that leave. That's going to make that a lot tougher here for John. Kind of doesn't have a choice but to cut this up the rail either. When you could bank it, but and he is. And at this point, it really is just what you're comfortable with, what you want to shoot. If you can get on the other side of this 9 ball, it makes it a little tougher. That 9 is on the back side of this pocket, and wow. So again, the 8 hanging in the pocket. Do or die here. It does look like Paul can cut this 9 ball still on the side, but not as easy as it looks. So he's got to catch it real thin. He's got to avoid the scratch and avoid the scratch coming off as well. This is one you just don't want to overhit. There it is. Perfect. You saw a little wiggle there, but never a doubt in our mind. Paul Kinney taking that down, bringing Chris Robbins to take down game number 3 to get him on the board. All right, 2-1 here. All right, it looks like Chris is taking a quick little break here. I'm not going anywhere, but I'm going to take a quick little break because we got our cameras down in the room, and I'm going to see if there's anything I can do about it. So this is Summerfield Habner with Bad Boys TV. Thank you for tuning in out there. If you get a chance, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. It helps us. It also helps notify you anytime we go live if you like this pool action. We're brought to you in part by a whole bunch of folks. Legends Billiard Hall, the Water Trough, Players Sports Bar, the Biggle Box, bringing you all your billiard needs, Savage Billiard Apparel, Jam Up Apparel, the Bad Boys. Big shout out to Bad Boys, bringing us these diamond tables, Mike Littman with Littman Lights, and the Billiard Shopping Network, and a a whole bunch of other people too. I'm going to get back, so I'm going to cut for just a second. I'll be right back. Thanks for tuning in. All right, and we're back here. This is Miranda Smyser here to break. Going with that head ball break. I've been seeing a lot of that dry head ball break. It's so frustrating. After just going 2 and out, that's, yeah, it was a familiar feeling. Although my teammate broke phenomenally, but she transitioned to the second ball break, did so really, really well. It wasn't our break that killed us, that's for sure. Well, Chris with a pretty funky table here. Yeah, this is not so easy. It looks like solids because the 2 balls wide open and the 3 balls in a corner, but once you get through that, you got a whole lot of traffic here, and the 1 ball's free. Can't really tell with that 4, 5, 7 what goes in that lower right-hand corner pocket. Starting with the 1 ball. I kind of like keeping my 1 ball for an assurance ball in case I get into trouble. But I think she's trying to cross over. Just making that ball and making sure she claims. I mean, once you get on the bottom side of that 4, 5, 7, it can start to unpeel pretty quickly. If you can go from the 2 to the 3, 3 to the 6, all of a sudden, I think that 5 and 7 both go on the side. Still got to figure out something to do with the 4, which I think goes in the lower right-hand corner pocket, but how to get there is another story. So maybe it's 2 to 3, 3 to 4, and 4 to move those out. See what Paul has in mind. He's the one at the table, not this guy. Looks like he's gonna try and kind of tried to kill the speed there. Caught the back half of the 15 and got in a little bit of trouble. Got a couple options here. That 7 ball still cuts on the side. 6 ball looks like you can combo to the 3. 3 is pretty close to the pocket, so very makeable shot there. My instinct is to shoot the 7 ball, but after I look at it, I'm like, yeah, I'll shoot it with a break stroke. Because, yeah, you can't get that 4 or 5 trapped in between that 9 and 11. You really got to keep things moving. See, yeah, coming off that 7 is just pushing it right at the 11 ball. Right, she hit a little more than I thought. Unfortunately, it did push it right at that 11, but that's still cuttable up table. So, looks like he still has a shot on the 6 on the side. Looks like he's got plenty of room to cue. I kind of like taking the 6 right now and trying to draw in to leave myself for the 5 next. If I feel like I have a good line on the 5, maybe you can break that 4 ball out. It's also not too late in this rack to be thinking about playing safe. Everything's still pretty funky, pretty clustery. Keep your balls in your, especially the ones in the pocket. That 3 ball is a real assurance ball. It's like he's going to try and break this 6 out here. Playing it nice and soft. Gets Chris in a good cueing position here for the 6 ball. So looking like 6 to come down for the 5 ball next. Unless she can see the 5. I don't think she can. Yeah, so it's hard to want to draw that ball too much. Now you're a little steep to probably break out that 4. Got a pretty good stroke on that ball if you're going to plan on doing that. Paul can think about coming over and back and trying to disrupt the 4, but kind of running out of options here. Eventually get in a place where you're just taking a hero shot and hoping for the best. I think now's your time to swing, though. Looks like you might have a line to be able to cue between the 12-15 as well. Not jacking up really changes your whole situation here. If he's got a line through there, this can come out a lot better. Doesn't even look like he's trying to break it out. He's trying to pocket that ball and come back across and hit it. Yeah, unfortunately misses a little bit wide, but that puts him in a pretty good spot. I don't know if that 10 cuts between the 8-5. If it does, you're looking a lot better than if it doesn't. Because if it doesn't, I don't know what the heck they're going to do. Yeah, it looks like John has a line on it. Still a tough rack from here. Wait. I don't think she has the gap between the 4-5 to get to the 13. Some friendly banter with these guys. All right. Nice little save. I think that's a really smart duck there. I think she could have forced something, but the last thing you want to do is open up these couple balls, and you can get safe just about anywhere on the table right now. Chris looking at kicking. Going the long ways. Yeah, you got an easier time getting a hit going that way, that's for sure. Boy, I don't know how. I don't see a lot of good that can come from that. I don't see what's going to happen positive from there. This is a tricky spot. They're taking their time to check it out, take a good look at it. Even the one rail kick onto the 5 ball, if you catch the right side of it, you have a chance of getting up between the 12-15. You just got to make sure you get to the rail. Yep. That's hilarious. James DeVee just told his girlfriend to make sure she ducks whenever walking past the cameras. There is no camera there any longer, and he's about 1.5 feet taller than her, and he doesn't even duck. I still duck as well. Old habits die hard. Chris kicking this long rail. Excellent hit. Yep. Fortunately, kind of gets back into trouble there. But a perfect hit, saving ball in hand, and that really is just the whole point of that shot right there, to not give them ball in hand to deal with all this stuff. Just going to play safe here. Yeah, it's kind of the move from this point. You really need ball in hand to begin to deal with this mess. And you're going to get it eventually. Those balls are pretty tucked away, so keep them kicking and hope that eventually you get to grab that white ball and make something happen. Looks like he's going to try and spin around this ball. I kind of like the two-railer up at the 4. But again, if you get yourself into that situation, it's kind of a tough hit. Yeah, that 14 ball was pretty big. All right, so that's what they needed, was ball in hand. Let's see how they're planning on attacking it. Got several chances here, but you definitely want to make sure you make the ball when you disrupt those things. She's playing safe, so she's going to get that 11 ball out of there and just freeze on the 4. What I like about that is I think she wants him to take the big swing out of it. And if you're not comfortable taking it, you don't want to be doing it. The last thing you want is to be shooting something you're super uncomfortable with that you have to accomplish a whole bunch of stuff on. Chris taking a good look down that line. And I don't see how anything's going to come from that. But I do think she could duck behind those balls and potentially getting under that 4 ball could be pretty productive. You could probably even nudge that out a little bit more and still not really sell anything out. So yeah, you don't want to blast those balls out. Those are your assurance that they're not going to run out at this point. Yeah, it looks like that 4 ball almost leaked out enough to be makeable. 9, 13 are still caught up. And you really leave John a limited amount of things he can do here. I kind of like making their 5 ball right now, if you can. Let's see, take a look at that. If you can use that 9 ball to make the 5 and freeze them back there, you take 1 more of their pawns out of the equation. And that can be really helpful. Let's see what John's thinking. Calling safe. That'll do. Unfortunately, I think Paul can just knock that 4 ball over by the corner pocket, freeze on the ball he's next to. I mean, freeze on that 13. All of a sudden, they're shooting a jacked up shot at the 11 just to get to the next ball. Yeah, that's definitely what I'm doing here. Don't worry about making that ball. Don't worry about nothing. Just worry about knocking that 4 over there, freezing on the other ball. Treetop shooting that 11 from there is a pretty tough shot. It's calling safe. It's like kicking under trying to catch that 5. Got to stay out of that corner pocket. Does so. All right. Well, that's one way to go about it too. I like the kick. Got a good hit. Saves ball in hand again. That's crucial. Back cutting this 9 ball right now with some draws. A game winner. If you're comfortable with it. If you're not, last thing you want to do is force it. But running out of safety options here too. You can play into the 13, freeze on the 13, knocking the 4 up table, but that just frees up their other ball. But it looks like a pretty simple safety option. Yep, it does look like that's what she's doing. I think she might have to jack up a little bit, though, to make contact here. Oh, man. Yeah, and drilled that shot. Hit a great shot on that, but just needed a little more draw on that ball to stay out of the pocket. Excellent effort, and unfortunately, it's still a really tough shot here for Chris Robbins. Chris is going to have to play the 5 and break out the 4. I don't really see any other option here. Don't think the 4 has a pocket. I don't even think it banks in the side. Ideally, I would like to be hitting underneath the 4 ball, knocking the 13 into the 4 and the 4 towards the side pocket. Wow, hit that really good. Makes good solid contact with the 4 ball. Little back cut here for Paul. 8 ball does pass the 12 to go in that corner. That's what he's taking a look at now. Yeah, I think he's going to end up playing the 8 ball in that upper left-hand corner pocket. Yeah, trying to hold on this will get you in trouble. So, yep, a little below center, but you don't want to draw this ball right in the side pocket either. Yeah, those are hard to judge when you're back cutting. You're sliding off the top of the ball. Does look like Chris has a cut on this ball. Chris Robbins out of Eugene, one of our favorite players. Former member of the Northwest Cup. Team Oregon. She played great. I was very impressed with her. Trailing 1-2 right now in this race to 5. This is Platinum Division Scotch doubles here at the 2023 Western BCA Championship. Miss Robbins taking it down. Making her mama proud. 2-2. That's going to bring Robbins Kinney back to break. All right, Chris Robbins here to break. Rack number 5 and a race to 5 here. Thanks for tuning in here with Summerfield at Railbirds Productions here at the 2023 Western BCA Championship. Here at the Chinook Winds Casino and Resort. Man, it's been wonderful out here. Headball break-in. Again, we see a dry break. Heartbreaker. And boy, this is a good spread too. That just kills me. When I break the balls, great for my opponent. Or, yeah, for my opponent. And yeah, this could spell trouble. John taking his time here. I think stripes are the obvious answer, but I mean, that top left-hand corner pocket is a little bit jammed up. Still very workable, but he's just going to draw out to take the 13 next. Just stop out. Simple shot here. The 13 looks like they're probably going to roll down to the 12. I kind of like leaving the 12 as an insurance ball. Beautiful. Gets the gap. Great shot. John can go one of a couple ways here. He can stay on that short side up there, or he can spin around and take the 9 ball next. I don't think he'll try and get through the gap of the 9-14. I think he'll spin around and take the 9 next. Beautiful shot. It's a nice little angle here. Looks like can probably just stop this 9 ball and he can take a back cut on the 14. Got away from her. Heartbreaker. And I don't think that 12 goes on the side from there. Maybe it does. That could be the saving grace, but boy, that's tough. Maybe still has a cut on this 10 ball. Yeah, that's pretty deep. Right, so playing the 12. That 3 ball is just so big from there. I don't know what the heck you're going to do to get back down. Unless he can take it in the, if he can take it in the lower right-hand corner pocket, that's totally different. I thought he was more obstructed than that. Gets around it. Oh, wow. Man, that 5 ball just falling in the wrong place. Bummer. She's in a little bit of trouble here. Yeah, at this point, you're kicking for a hit, and then you got to get some to a rail. Even just getting underneath and trying to stick is tough. It looks like she might be able to see an edge of that ball, though. She's calling something. Looks like May have a line on that 14. Oh, wow. Well, she totally had enough of the ball. She hit it just a little bit fat. Great effort there. That's a tough shot. That brings Paul Kinney to the table. What's Paul got in mind here? It's like you can kind of just stop off the 5 and take the 6 next. Getting the 6 out of there helps that 7-1. It's like he's starting with the 4. I like using the 3 here to get on something. And I think that something might be the 7. I would rather deal with the 7, and then you can just kind of slide out, do whatever you want from there. It's also a real natural line to get back on the 2, and the 2 is in a slightly tougher spot than the other balls. Nice, smooth, confident stroke there. Does look like he's still got the 7 ball, but can't be sure. I mean, the 1 might pass through there for all I know. Yeah, if I'm him, I think I'm going to take the 7, 6, and go from there. Looking at that 2 ball though. Nice cut. Even further back over. You're kind of slipping a little further away from those balls. Those are kind of your safety balls, where if anything gets finicky in this little tight area, you have something to work with. Oh, she's looking at a pretty long shot here. I mean, still dead in on the 6 ball, but Chris taking her time here. I really like that. I like the stand up. I think it's super important. I've never regretted standing up too many times. Definitely regretted not standing up enough. Caught that 14 and got her in trouble. I'm playing safe. Looks like that 7 ball might bank through traffic. It doesn't really get you that much. It's hard to try the bank without selling out, I guess is what I'm saying. There's no safe way to fire at it and maybe get away with it. Does look like that's what he's trying, though. He may also just be playing safe. I like the up towards the rail playing safe. Just like that. Nice shot. Looks like you can probably see part of the 14 ball. But I don't know. You can't see the 10 at all. Calling safe. Stand in that ball. It's there. Man, nice shot. I can't tell. Oh, I think that 1 might be free. If he would have got right on that 7 ball, that would have been a brilliant shot from that distance. I mean, still a really nice shot, but I do think Chris can cut the 1. Nope, she's looking at the side. I'm not sure why she'd be looking at the side if she could cut it in the corner. Gosh, it's hard for me to believe that doesn't go, though. She is right on that 7, though. I like Chris to play the same shot that Paul played last time. Thin off that 1 ball, get him all the way up on the rail, use the 5 ball as an obstructing ball. maybe you get away with a good ball in hand. I feel like forcing this, and if you make it, you might get yourself in trouble having to shoot next. It's not going to an easy spot. If she's cutting, yeah. Great two-way, though. Leaves it right in front of that pocket. Blocks with the 5-ball. Excellent shot, Chris Robbins. Not sure if she can even see a piece of this ball. Hey, that was me. That's not. Did that wrong. There. No. That one. That's me. Whoops. Nailed it. There we go. She might be able to see that left edge of the 14, but I think she's kicking here. Pretty sure that's just the way it's got to be. I like the safe here. I mean, it'd be nice if you could kick and stick down there, but you got to make sure you get something to a rail. Not an easy two-railer. Kind of end up a one-railing with English, and that's about all you got. Could try and kick this ball long and go that long side rail, foot rail, into the backside of the 14 and hope to make it, but it's all pretty tight. I kind of like the two-railer, actually. Again, this is Summerfield with Railbirds TV here at the Chinook Winds Casino and Resort here at the 2023 Western BCA Championship. So got there, got contact, no rail. It's going to bring these guys up with ball in hand at 2-2. If you ask me, the 5 is your cue ball here. So I'm saying 7-1-5. Because the 8 ball does not go in that upper left-hand corner pocket. It only goes in the lower left-hand corner pocket. And 1-7-5 is just fine also. All right, Paul, just drawing out here. Looks like a pretty good line to me. Chris just got to make sure that she draws past the 8, but hopefully also leaves him below the center point line so it's easy for him to just roll up. Just kind of pop out for the 8. Don't want to leave a big stroke shot on that last one. If you haven't done it so far and you're enjoying what you see, please hit that like and subscribe button. Helps us out. It also helps notify you when we end up going live. Just playing it all the way around. Does she get there? She totally got there. Whew. She just wanted to keep you in suspense. Nailed it. Like we said, hit that like and subscribe button. Come check us out more. Thanks for tuning in at Railbirds TV. This is Summerfield Habner. All right, Paul Kinney. In perfect shape for that 8-ball. For their first lead of the match right here. Three to two, ladies and gentlemen. This is Platinum Action Scotch Doubles 2023 Western BCA Championship, brought to you in part by all these guys: Bagel Box, Savage, Jam Up, Legends Billiard Hall, The Trough, Players Sports Bar, Lion X, The Side Pocket in Eugene, Oregon, Rose City Billiard Club out of Portland, Striker Fishing Rods, Players Sports Bar and Grill, Q Sports International, and by Railbirds themselves. This event put on by Western BCA is a pretty wonderful one. It's brought to you with the assistance of Bad Boys, Littman Lights, Diamond Pool Tables, and all of you guys. Everybody out there is what's making this happen. 74 tables in a single room. It's pretty special, especially up here in the Northwest. Not known for our pool scene up here, but I tell you, there's a lot of players out here. We have a good player base, and more of them are starting to represent on a national level. So it's good to see. Definitely become a big part of my life. Head ball break there. All right. Sucking into the side. It's easy to have happen. Believe me, it's happened to me too. Had a pretty good spread that time. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Still nothing going down. That's one of those where, I don't know, I worked a little bit on my break before I came out. I'm glad I did because I realized how infrequently I ended up making a ball, shooting head ball. I run a lot more racks breaking the head ball, but I also don't as frequently make a ball. And I would rather have a more difficult rack and still have control of the table than have an easy rack and risk the opportunity of giving it to my opponent. Chris and Paul here with a great opportunity. Nothing too crazy going on with solids. To me, that's the obvious answer. I don't really like that 13, 10, 9, 15 thing going on. I think starting with the 2 seems natural. Yeah, definitely right to take their time on this too. When you got ball in hand, whole table sitting in front of you, you got some big decisions to make, and it's best to talk about them now. It's easy to take that for granted. Guess she'd like to get him a little straighter on this than she can. Looks like she might just draw into it and nudge that 11. I kind of like that idea. Just stopping. Boy, did she get it blocked? I don't know. I think she's still good on the 1, but boy, that's tight. There he is. If you get a line on the 1, you're looking good. 1 sliding down for the 3 next. Good shot for Paul. Chris is probably pushing out for the 6 ball next. 6 is the only other really weird transition. 6 to the 4 is tough. 6 to the 5 is tough. Just babying that one in there. Falls with no problem whatsoever. And it looks like Paul might try to play between the 13-8 to get on the 5 next. Nope. He's going to take the 7. So 7 up to the 5. Oh, I like that. 5, 4, 6. I guess 6 to the 8 still just doesn't seem easy to me, but this all looks good. And you definitely, the 4 ball's the ball to get back on the 6 for sure, especially from that top side there. And so many familiar faces here in Lincoln City. It's so, I mean, it just turns into a family reunion. If you guys enjoy pool, you enjoy any kind of competitive aspect to your life, I can't speak highly enough about Western BCA and the opportunity to come here and compete a couple times a year. It's a pretty special regional tournament. After traveling a little more, I recognize how great this one really is. Chris got herself a little long there. She is a lot straighter than she wants to be here. She wanted to be underneath that so that she had a good little angle on the 14 to just come around the 915. He's still got an angle, but he might have to draw this ball. Definitely has to draw. Wow, gets right through it. Get out of there. Whoa, ball Kinney. Nice shot, man. That's not as easy as it looks right there. Drawn straight through a gap is a difficult thing to do. Chris probably just going to roll forward here and then take that 8 ball in the lower left-hand corner pocket. Would like to get pretty straight on this one. But no problems from here. Good shot. This is a big one. This is to get to the hill. See that Fargo calculator starting to shift in their favor. I think this is the only break in, well, table run that we've seen and off a dry break. So there we go. 4-2 lead there for Paul and Chris Robbins. And that will bring them back to break on the hill. This is going to be our last event of the evening. We're going to be coming to you live all week long, though. We'll be here through next Sunday. It's only Saturday. So come on down and check it out. If you're anywhere in Lincoln City, Oregon, come say hi. If you're not, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We got tons of pool action coming right your way all week long. Big shout out to the venue here, the Chinook Winds Casino and Resort. It's a beautiful place. It is just incredible. The weather has been, leaves something to be desired, but I tell you, these windows here give you one of the most picturesque views anywhere in the world. Nothing like the Oregon coast. Big shout out to all of our sponsors for support and for Fun Day. Just got done with Fun Day yesterday, and it was as advertised. It was a good time. Chris Robbins to break. Sticking with the head ball break. I'm going to give her a hard time about this later. Or when you're watching Chris, because I think you will. Ooh, that 1 ball comes around 4 rails. They get one. Nice. Tough opening shot here. Probably going to play the 6. I guess I skipped ahead a little bit. I think solids are the obvious answer. But you do still have two balls that have a problem. You don't have an obvious opening shot for stripes, though. You have way more balls clogged up. And But that's tough, though. The 3-ball's the only thing you really got to work with down here. And yeah, you're not going to get to the 4-ball from the 3. From the looks of it, you're going to end up banking something's rack. Oh, missed that ball. Gosh darn it. Drilled the 2-railer. It's a terrible habit, but sometimes there's this like piece of me that gives myself an excuse where I'm like, well, you know, it was a tough decision anyway. Now I don't have to make it. And that's the voice that I need to squash in my head. But it's easy to give yourself excuses in this game. It really is just a game of you with yourself and what you do with the opportunity you have at the table. And I find myself not intentionally making excuses for myself and why I fail. So I try to get away from that as much as possible. John Sure, straight shooter. Hit the nice thin side of that ball. Leaves a great little back cut here to get on these balls. Can't quite tell the angle here. I was thinking hopefully you could use a 7 to deal with a 4 or 5, but I think she's coming wide of that. Undercut that ball a little bit. Did a good job getting on the 3-ball, though. All right, well, Chris and Paul with another chance here. You can tell the pressure gets to all of us here, especially being on the TV table. It's hard enough just jumping into a tournament day one, getting comfortable, shooting with a partner. A lot of pressure here. Probably 15 to the... No, she looks like she's drawn, so 15 to the 12. And she hit that good. I have a hard time hitting the ball that hard and having it travel that little distance going into the rail. Just feel like a lot can go wrong from there. This is a great opportunity for the breakout here for Paul. That 12 ball is in perfect position for him to come straight back through and make contact with that 8-5. And this is the time I'd do it. You can wait, and you can take the 13. You still got to deal with the 11 ball. Now's the time. Take your swing at it. Try and see where you end up, and then reassess. Paul going to advise his teammate over there. Having a little conference. I've seen a lot of good sportsmanship this year surrounding all the talking as well. There used to be such strict rules about what you could and couldn't do, and at this point you can talk with your partner. They are still trying to abide by a 45-second shot clock, and if your match is going long, they will come by and they will give both teams a game. So they're going to do everything they can to keep you on track. And these matches can go long. A race to 5-8 ball can take a while. 6 in the platinum or in the elite. Wow, that is not pocket speed. I was gonna say that's pocket speed, but that's jaw speed. Man, got it right there. Not really a bad shot. I mean, he's kind of got to take his 7 ball there, and the 7, it doesn't really lead him to solving any problems. Just not what he wants to be doing. Just because I'm such a dork and I like spike and bank shots, I would be taking a look at that 4 ball and seeing if it went. Can't really tell if it gets by that 13 into the side. Tough to say. Who's to say? Whoops. That's the one we want. Looks like he's trying to wrap around. Right. Trying to get that 3 past there. That's about all you can do. But again, kind of knocking your pawns out of the game here. The one and only Tyrell, the headband Datweiler, coming to you live here. Well, that worked out pretty well. The 3-ball didn't go, but all she can really do is work with a 13-ball here, I think. Which again kind of picks a ball away from a solution on the 14 for them. I kind of like not being aggressive here. I like playing safe off the 13, trying to come back down on the bottom right-hand side of the table, making sure you don't leave a cut on the 3-ball. If you can block it out, that's great, but if you can't, oh well. I don't want to force them to do something with the 5 and have them get fortunate and block me out. I kind of want to guide what ball they're working with, and in this position, I'd like them to be working with a 3. So did that. She went to make it. Makes the ball. And did call safe. Oh, good. That's what I thought she did. I think I would have liked the same thing. I just may have liked to not make the ball. I want to keep my pawns on the field. All right. The professional is back in the building. We're going to see what happens here. Mr. Kevin Ross, you survived the power outage. How'd you do it?
I leave you alone for 10 minutes, and you go and you trip over all the power cords. You knock over the cameras. I can't believe it.
In the entire building.
Can't believe it, man.
You know, it's
funny.
funny.
Can't leave you alone for 10 minutes.
I asked you about people sitting in, and Clay's like, "Hey, you want me to sit in?" And Clay sat in. We said hello, and it shut down. It was pretty funny. Look what we did. Taking a good look here.
So who are the players we have at the table here?
This is Paul Kinney and Chris Robbins here.
Alrighty. And what are they shooting? Stripes or solids?
Stripes.
Okay.
Mr. Leonard, did you guys get that one? Nice. Way to go, man. Good for you. Awesome.
Yeah, it looks like we just have a simple little safety coming up. Just tap the ball.
I like back cutting this 9 here, and it looks like the 11 pops right out, doesn't it?
Yeah, you'll definitely be running into 11. Then you'll have to use probably have to use the 10 to break out the 14 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can just kind of let them deal with it.
Yeah.
Although he may have left this combination, this 4-3 combo with the built-in breakout.
Yeah, I've been talking a little bit about that, just like the forcing somebody to shoot, and all of a sudden something good happens.
Yeah. Sometimes you force them to win.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like when you play a 9-ball and you play safeties, and all of a sudden you leave them where the only possible shot they have is like a 1-9 combo, and you force them to shoot it, and they go and make it.
Oh yeah, it's incredible how often that backfires.
Mm-hmm.
Can't really tell. It doesn't look like either one of those 2 balls are frozen. So it looks like she could just roll up on that 4-ball and kind of pin behind the 9. She doesn't like it. Yeah, I think that's all I want to do here. Let's just roll between that 4-3. Looks like she's got room to do it. If I want them shooting something, I want them shooting the 9 ball away from the 11 because they're still going to have to deal with that at some point. Well, you guys must not have made it far.
No, I just went back to the hotel room. Had some frozen lasagna dinner. It was pretty good for a frozen lasagna dinner.
Frozen, yeah. Man, that worked out pretty well. She got right back up on that 14. Doesn't sell a cut on anything.
Can't tell from here if the bank is on. That might be in double kiss territory. I can't tell from over here where I'm sitting.
And especially jacked up over a ball. That's tough.
Yeah, and she's not even looking in that direction. Has no interest in it.
Yeah. I think just off the 14, back lower right-hand corner pocket, huh?
Unless you can get off the 11 and also put the cue ball to that end rail.
Yeah.
You know, come between the 4-9 off the 11, but you'd have to put a little bit of draw on it. I don't think you can from where that cue ball is, so yeah.
Tricky thing about the lower right, too, is you leave a back cut on the 4, and if they shoot, they get a chance of breaking out that 8-5, and yeah. It's not a gimme, but that might be a game winner right there. But these guys have a decent lead on the hill, leading 4-2 here at the 2023 Western BCA Championship. Looks like she can see the 9.
We're coming off the 14. No, the 9.
Right.
She's left them straight in on the 4 with a possible to break out from the 3 to the 8-5. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see if he makes this 4 ball. I mean, it looks like he's left them dead straight on the 4.
It really does. Can't really tell the angle, but that's looking pretty good. So yeah, 4 upper right-hand corner pocket here, I would imagine. And that's going to leave, I mean, a sharp cut on the 3, but it's a very makeable breakout.
Yeah, it's
here.
A very makeable cut on the 3 with a pretty natural breakout.
How do you hit this when you want it to come just barely above the center line? Are you just hitting a tiny bit of draw on the shot when it's right on the rail like that?
Yeah, I would probably try to pop this with center ball just a smidge of left.
Mm-hmm. Just looking at cutting the 5 ball right now.
If the 5 goes, then because once the 5 is gone, the 8 goes.
Oh, it totally completely goes.
The question is how do you get from the 5 to the 3 without hitting that 10? The answer is you don't.
Question. Yeah. Oh, heartbreaker. Still leaves a shot.
Bank the 3 and swing the cue ball around 3 rails for the 8 in the same pocket.
Yeah.
The old 1 pocket shot.
I think that's about it. I mean, it is a jam bank. It looks like you might be able to stiff this with some high inside to stop it, but it's still going to get right on top of that 14, isn't it? That's tough. The tricky thing with the runaround is I don't think you can hold this ball.
Yeah, the angle doesn't really look right for the shot I was suggesting. Doesn't look like it lays right for that. Ideally, you'd want the 3 off the rail and that 11 ball to not be there.
Yep. Yeah, and that double kiss. That worked out pretty well, though. Ties up that 9 ball, very fortunately.
Yep, it keeps them alive for another inning.
Yep. Definitely playing safe here if I'm Paul. What do you think? Are you swinging at this one? I feel like the only way to swing is to go 14, 11, 10, try to break out the 9.
Yeah, I'm looking for breakouts on the 9, and the 2 I see is, from the 10 you can break out the 9, or from the 11 in the side. Mm-hmm. But, you got to find a way to get there. 11 in the side looks a little better. I mean, you can go from the 14, draw to the rail, back out to the middle of the table, leave you angle on the 11 in the side to try to shoot the 11 in the side, try to break out the 9. If you miss, you can still play safe either off the 9 or off the 10.
Yeah. Overhit that a little bit.
So that would have been what I would have been looking at because, I'm always trying to look for the run out.
Yep.
Sometimes to my detriment.
9-ball players.
Sometimes to my detriment.
Oh, yeah. I am all too familiar. When I give myself a hard time about it, I call myself a believer. I'm like, you're just a believer. Just believe in yourself, that's all.
Right.
I don't really know what the move is here, though. I mean, just roll up on the 3 and block the 9?
I guess. I mean, just punt, just get through the inning and maybe something better will come along next inning. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the bunt is definitely an option. Doesn't look like that 3-ball sneaks past the 11, even if you try to bank.
Yeah, this is that situation when you only have 1 ball left and your opponent has a bunch of balls. You're in a massive disadvantage.
Yeah.
Because they have the upper hand massively.
Yeah, especially with that ball tied up.
Yeah, the old saying in 8-ball, don't run out unless you're going to run all the way out.
She hit that ball. Oh, man. Really?
Even with ball in hand, the breakout's not easy from here.
No, not at all. And now the 11's in a different spot. That makes it tougher.
Yeah, she has to go with the breakout from the 10.
Which I actually like. I like going for the 10 because you still have the 11 as a break.
Another option is you can just knock the 9 out of there playing safe on the 3. Not trying to make anything, just freeing it. Come off the 9, send the cue ball up table. Knocking the 9 out into the open.
Yep. Chris kind of looks like she's looking at making the 3-ball.
Yeah, pocketing the 3. You want to make sure you hook them on the 8. And now I wouldn't want to just stop it there. I wouldn't want to let them look at the 8.
Yeah, I think she's probably looking at the cut and coming back up table. But, boy, you really got to make sure you make that ball. I mean, that's a situation where I like to play safe. I'm probably more of a timid player than an aggressive one, but...
Yeah, I definitely don't mind playing safe on this shot right now on the 9-ball. Just, free up the 9. Free up the 9 while hooking them on the 3. I definitely don't mind that.
Yeah. And you just play a stop shot, kind of knocking the 9-ball into the foot rail and back out, and just kind of right on top of the 3-ball is what you're thinking?
I'm kind of thinking we have the cue ball over here on this side of the 9, playing like a half ball hit with a lot of right spin that knocks the 9 out and sends the cue ball up table.
Got it.
I mean, pocketing the 3 isn't bad as long as you play safe on the 8 so they can't see the 8. So you'd want to, also find a way to send the cue ball up table so the 14 gives cover.
Yeah.
Either one would be perfectly fine, I think. Whichever one maybe you have more confidence in executing. She's just going to leave them just on top of the 3. Oh no, she isn't. Okay. This isn't bad because the 11 blocks the straight back on the 3.
Yeah, no clear shot here. You kind of got to kick it.
I think you got to go for the kick. I think you got to go for the kick.
Huh. Yeah, I mean, you got a chance to win the game from there, and it's not looking good anywhere else.
And I think the 8 goes in the side, so if you make the 3, I think you'll have a shot at the 8 to that side pocket. Depending on how hard he hits it, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, if he just shoots at pocket speed, if he makes the 3, he should have a shot on the 8.
Here we are.
Yeah, that's pocket speed.
Wow.
He didn't make it, but he put it close.
And that's a great miss, too.
He's left it really tough.
Great miss.
I mean, yeah, the bank on the 14 or the long straight in on the 11. I kind of like the bank on the 14 because you might tie up the 3 if you miss it.
Yep.
I'm liking the bank on the 14. And so does, who's this at the table?
This is Paul.
And so does Paul. Let's hit it short. but he's left it
Fortunate
tough.
again.
He got away with it.
Yeah, that's one where I'm trying to make the ball, but I'm thinking about if I miss this, I want to miss it wide, because you have that other ball as a
Yeah,
backup.
he absolutely wanted to miss that one wide, not short.
But it worked out.
It did.
And even the rail first here doesn't pay off unless you get it real soft, and it's a pretty tough one to make if you get it that soft.
No. What you really want to do is you want to have your 3-ball in play. Frozen to the center of the end rail is about as out of play as you can get it.
Yep.
That gives your opponent all the options.
A lot they can do.
If you put your 3-ball in play, then you at least put some pressure on them. By in play, I mean in front of a pocket or out in the middle of the table.
What do you think about this? Kicking it again.
All right. If she can block the 14, if she misses it, that's a good shot. Oh, no.
Man, right in the pocket. It's so easy for us to do that, just to line up. Our brain is just wired to kick right in the pocket.
All right, ball in hand for Chris Robbins. I'm most likely starting with this 9.
I like that.
I'm probably going, my personal preference is probably 9, 14, 11, 10, 8 is probably the way I would go at it, but, I'm not the one at the table. Chris is, so let's see what she likes.
So you're going to try and leave yourself pretty straight on the 14?
You can either leave yourself straight on the 14 to draw back for the 11 in the corner, or you can leave yourself a little bit of angle on the 14 to draw out for the 11 in the side. Either way, I'm using the 10 as my ball before the 8, as the key ball before the 8.
It's so funny. I'm such a side pocket shooter that, I wasn't even looking at the 11 down the rail. I'm just like, oh, yeah, of course I'm going to have to get on the backside of this 11 ball, which is just not the case.
Most likely I'm playing for the 11 to the corner. So I'm playing to leave the cue ball fairly straight in on the 14.
I was seeing pretty much the same thing. I was just thinking 9, 14, 10, 11, because the 10 you kind of roll down past and then
that works too.
Take the 11 to the side, but I think your way is probably smarter.
Either, it's many ways to go about this. For people that actually like skinning cats, whatever it is you have against cats, I don't know why people like skinning cats,
Right?
but there's more than one way to skin this one.
Well, you railbirds probably aren't big fans of cats.
Good one.
Did we decide the 9 does pass in that lower left-hand corner pocket?
It sure looks to me like it goes.
So she's starting with the 14 and then going to the 9.
I have a feeling she's saving the 9 for last. Ooh, she put a stroke on that ball.
She did. Well, she did it. Got there.
All right, well, from here, 10 and then the 9, then come back for the 11.
Boy, but that did just get tougher, didn't it?
It got a little tougher, but it's still workable. I like to roll forward so that you actually leave yourself angle on the 9s to make it easy to come back out for the 11 in the side.
Yeah. Yep.
I think this is going to be too soft. You're going to leave it straight in, and straight in isn't really where you want it to be.
That took me a long time to figure out.
Don't leave yourself straight in.
All the time. I'm like, man, why do I keep missing these leaves? I'm only drawing 8 inches every time.
Well, I think Chris is going to have to draw more than 8 inches here if she wants it in the side.
Yeah, she is.
Although we just saw she's got a draw stroke on her.
Right? She snapped that ball. Can't quite tell what that angle looks like. Yeah, I mean, rolling forward, you don't want to end up leaving yourself tree-topped.
I'm looking at the other camera angle. It looks dead straight.
Yeah. That looks real straight.
You can do the stop shot on the 9.
I play a little bit with my friend Matt, and Matt's a far superior player to me. And if he had the shot, he'd say, all right, I'm going to draw this ball, but I'm going to try and scratch when I do it. Because it's got to be a hard thing to do. Like, drawing off this 9 and into the side pocket is pretty tough to do. But he's like, if I don't try to do it, that's going to happen. If I try to. All right. Not tree-topped. Definitely free.
Well, I don't know if that's true or not, if he's tree topped or not. I mean, from a distance.
You think that three's obstructing? Yeah, and I mean
It might be.
getting into a draw stroke, that's tough.
It's
Yeah,
making it a little bit awkward for him.
Yeah, you can tell.
He's not comfortable. Well, he's handled it.
Yeah.
Just don't scratch off the 3.
This is for the set. Just don't scratch off the 3. Good call. 3's a little far away. But, yeah,
but you can, if you run into it, you can double kiss off it into the pocket.
Chris Robbins for the set. Another great stand-up. Good poise from this player. I like her to make it.
Darn near scratched. Yikes.
You totally called that. Yeah, boy, oh boy.
Yeah, I mean.
And that was the double kiss, huh? It had to have. It wouldn't have come that close. Well, tough to say. Well, back cut here for John, and this is to get back in this match. Down 4-2, staring down the barrel of a set-winning ball, and all of a sudden he's one back cut away. Nice shot. Holy cow. All of a sudden it's 4-3, and they're going to be breaking. Huge turnaround here. This is a lefty shot.
Uh-oh, side pocket, side pocket.
Don't you dare. Don't you dare. Oh, no. Oh, my gosh.
Wow is right, and that is an automatic loss.
That is an automatic loss. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a winner.
Wow.
Well, excellent match to both these guys. Thank you for tuning in.
Hard fought. That was a good match. Hard fought by both sides. Just wasn't their day.
Wasn't their day.
Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be catching you on the next one. Is that the last one for tonight, or is another one? I think that might be the last one for tonight.
We're at 9:48.
I think that's the last one for tonight. So we will catch you guys tomorrow.
All right. Thanks for everything, everybody. Thank you so much, Kevin.
All right. See you guys.